Welcome to my top 5 of the Philippines, island style. Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you guys there. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video today. My name is Christopher Lau, also known as C Lau Travel, and welcome to my channel if you guys are brand new to my channel. And in today's video, I want to take you guys on a tropical adventure to one of my favorite countries in the entire world, the Philippines. Now, I've been to the Philippines on 5 separate occasions, and the last 3 times I went for 1 full month, and it's one of my favorite places in the world. And specifically in this video, I want to talk about my top 5 of the Philippines, specifically island vibes. I honestly probably don't need this in here. So diving directly into the list, I want to start off with number 5, Romblon Island, a pretty tough island to get to, but one of my favorite islands in the Philippines. Now, getting to Romblon Island could be a tall task, but it'll be worth it at the end. I think it took 2 ferries specifically, including a couple-hour jeepney ride in the middle of nowhere. We weren't sure where we were going. We even missed out on the main ferry out at Tablas, so we went from Boracay all the way to Tablas, all the way out to Romblon Island, and it was totally worth the journey. One of my favorite islands in the Philippines. Now again, Romblon Island is off the beaten path, but it is absolutely beautiful once you get out there and highly worth it. One of the main tours out there is the island hopping tour, which I would highly recommend. I saw some of the bluest waters on this island hopping tour that I've ever seen. Not just blue waters, I saw translucent water, I saw clear water, I saw all the shades of blue during this island hopping tour. And specifically, the 3 islands that we visited are Corridor Island, where you ended up snorkeling, including finding a little cliff diving spot right after, Alad Island, where you also do a little snorkeling. Unfortunately, there was a little trash in that area. And the last spot, which had a beautiful sandbar, not a big sandbar, but it's still a pretty one, Lugban Island. I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong. Now, besides the island hopping tour, you can also take a motorbike around the island, which doesn't take too long. I think it's about an hour straight if you do it without stopping. But if you guys stop, you'll find beaches with some of the most beautiful waters. I love the drone flights that we got out of that, including the most beautiful beach, which Ivor and I, one of my best buds, visited all 3 nights there. Bonbon Beach, which is one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever visited. It's this giant sandbar that shoots straight out to another island during high tide. It's absolutely beautiful, especially during sunset. I think that's when Ivor and I visited all 3 trips. Unfortunately, the sand isn't as soft as you would hope, but aesthetically, it is super beautiful, especially if you guys have a drone, and I absolutely love sandbars and good island vibes, which is why I make Romblon Island my number 5. Now, my number 4 on the list is an island that was actually rehabilitated for about 5 or 6 months. It was actually shut down a couple of years back. It is Boracay Island, one of my favorite islands in the world. Now, before the rehabilitation, Boracay was kind of seen as the Las Vegas of the Philippines. It was a party island. There was clubs everywhere on the beach. There was DJs. I actually went on New Year's about 3-4 years ago for my first trip out to the Philippines, went for New Year's. It was super wild. There's parties everywhere. Unfortunately, now the parties have dissipated. It's not as crazy of an island as it was before the rehabilitation, but it is still one of my favorite islands to travel to out in the Philippines. Now, unfortunately on Boracay, I think only still 60% of the businesses, 70% are still open. Some of the most popular things you can do on the island is an island hopping tour to a cliff jumping spot, which unfortunately I didn't go to due to high tides both visits. There's also another island hopping tour, which they call it, which is actually a snorkeling tour, so it's not really island hopping. I wouldn't really recommend that. But my 2 favorite beaches in the Philippines are on Boracay, which I would totally recommend. Puka Beach, which has beautiful puka shells all over the beach, and arguably my favorite, the most beautiful beach, White Beach. Now, White Beach is the main beach out in Boracay, connected to station 1, 2, and 3, which is pretty much the way that they break down the beach into different stations, and it is an absolutely beautiful beach, especially after the rehabilitation. The water is crystal blue, super clear, absolutely beautiful drone shots. I absolutely love this beach. I honestly think the first time that I went, there was more trash, there were so many tourists, there's so many umbrellas, there were so many sandcastles, so many people. Unfortunately, you can't build sandcastles commercially on Boracay anymore. I don't think you can drink on the beach anymore. I don't think you can even smoke on the beach or outdoors in public anymore on Boracay, but it shows on the beach because it's a super pretty beach. And if you guys are in Boracay besides the beach, you have to stay for the famous Boracay sunsets. So we shot all the way down White Beach from station 2 all the way down to station 3 for this incredible Boracay sunset. Oh, this is the afterglow. Unfortunately, there's some clouds out there, but it still looks beautiful. Check it out. Woo. This is crazy. This is what you come out for. So I absolutely love pastel pink sunsets. That's why Boracay is my number 4 on the list. And for my number 3 on the list, I want to take you out to Cebu Island. Now I haven't explored Cebu too much, but my previous trip I actually explored it the most, where I visited a couple of waterfalls, specifically Coron Falls, which is the most popular waterfall out to visit in Cebu. It is considered as the Gatorade factory, how blue the water is. Now keep in mind, there's tons of other waterfalls on Cebu that I haven't visited yet. And I also got in the comments of one of my Cebu videos that there's a lot prettier waterfalls than Coron, but that's totally the most popular waterfall out in Cebu. We also visited Asminya Peak, which is technically the second, I think, tallest peak in all of Cebu. So the second tallest mountain in all of Cebu. One of the most unique landscapes I have ever seen in my life. It's literally jagged rocks everywhere. Super pretty, super beautiful. And keep in mind, you can also swim with whale sharks and do a ton of other tours on Cebu. Now, specifically why Cebu is my number 3 on the list is because the accessibility to all the islands around it. You can take a ferry all the way to Dumaguete City. You can visit the beautiful Manjoyed sandbar. You can also go to Apo Island, Sikikor Island, which is right out there. You can also visit another island called Smulin Island, which has a beautiful sandbar. Unfortunately, when we went, the sandbar wasn't around. There's also the popular island of Bantayan Island in the northern part of Cebu. You can take a ferry all the way to Leyte and visit the beautiful and super popular sandbar of Kalangaman Island, which I just checked out with Rachel. I haven't done it yet. Go to Malapasquad. You can swim with the thresher sharks. I think that's the only place you can swim with thresher sharks. I also went to Iloilo. I took a ferry to another island, I believe, on my most recent trip. The accessibility of Cebu Island to visit so many beautiful places in the Philippines is the reason why I love Cebu Island. And not just that, keep in mind, there's a ton of things you can do on Cebu itself. Now we're shooting down super quick on this list. I might have to make an updated list how many times I visit the Philippines. So let's take you to number 2, one of my favorite spots in the Philippines, Coron, Palawan. Now, Coron town is a little town in Palawan in the Philippines. One of my favorite and most beautiful tours resides in this area. If you guys are staying in Coron town, there's a hike that you can go to the top called Mount Tapayas. I think that's the name of it. It's not that bad of a hike. It took me about 30 minutes straight, so be in shape. Maybe wear hiking shoes, although I had flip-flops both times that I went up it. Super beautiful view of sunset. I would totally recommend it. And there's 2 super popular tours I would highly recommend. Now the first tour is the island hopping tour, where they take you to a beautiful sandbar out in Coron. I think it's about a 2-hour trip to get out there. They take you to another island for lunch, and then they take you to the last island for around sunset. But the main tour that I would recommend is the Coron Island tour, which I absolutely love. I've done this tour 2 times already. They start you off in the marketing markets near the ferry, where you end up buying some lunch, some fresh food, and then you end up jumping on my favorite island hopping adventure out in the Philippines to some of the most beautiful places out in the Philippines. Now the first stop is Twin Lagoon, where you jump into the water, and when you dive a little deeper, it's actually cold. So the top is warm and the bottom is cold, I believe. And you swim under these little rock cave into this little lagoon. Super, super beautiful. You're surrounded by limestones. It's literally like Avatar, and you're snorkeling there for about an hour, hour and a half. The next stop, they take you out to a sunken warship. I think it's about 5 meters deep. So if you guys can free dive, you can dive directly down to the warship. Such a cool experience. I definitely need to learn how to free dive one day. They also take you to this lunch spot. So they actually cook on your boat or barbecue on your boat. And this lunch spot is on a private little beach connected to the limestone rocks. Super beautiful. You're in like a wooden hut having lunch with your mates, having lunch with your friends. Again, you're literally connected to a limestone rock in the middle of nowhere, well, in the middle of Coron. And then following that, you end up going to Barracuda Lake, and I think there's one more spot where you're just swimming around through limestone rocks. Don't worry, there's no barracudas around. It's super beautiful, super unique. I think the video that I created was the most beautiful place in the Philippines, and it really is the most beautiful place in the Philippines, especially if you guys have a drone. Recommend bring a drone, buy a drone, go to Coron, Palawan. It's my number 2 on the list. Now we have winded down to my number 1 on this list, and I absolutely love this island. I actually went to this island 2 times already, and both times I at least stayed for a week. Bringing you guys to my number 1 on the list, the number 1 island in all of Southeast Asia, Siargao Island. Now again, I've been to Siargao Island 2 times already. I love the place. I actually took my best friend David there last year for his birthday, and there's tons of things you can do and explore in Siargao Island. So Siargao is really blowing up, and it's kind of seen as little Bali, and people are predicting it could be the next Bali. And some of the most popular things you can do do out in Siargao Island is the Suba Lagoon Day Tour, which I would highly recommend. They take you out to a lagoon, you're jumping off this cliff diving platform, you're literally swimming through this beautiful lagoon all day. They take you to a lunch spot on a private island, you go home, call it a day. I love it. Another popular thing you can do out there is the 3 island hopping tour to Daku Island, Guam Island, and Naked Island. Although I would totally recommend you to wear clothing on Naked Island, you might get arrested, who knows? People might actually like it, who knows too. But those 3 islands are super beautiful. Guam Island isn't that big of an island, nor is Naked Island, but you could definitely explore Daku. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that as much that day because of the rain, but I would totally recommend those 3 island spots. A few other places to check out is the Magapuku Rock Pools, the Palm Tree Forest where you can drive through this beautiful palm tree forest. Also the Swinging Palm Tree, but from what I heard, you actually have to pay a little fee to swing on this palm tree right now, but it's not that much money probably. It's totally worth it. It's such a unique tree. Just don't break it because it's been swinging for like a year and a half. And even go out to Sohoton Cove, beautiful limestone rocks. Stay at Club Tara Resort, which I actually put in my top 10 accommodations video previously. And there's tons of other things you can do out in Siargao. So rent a motorbike, which is super cheap out there, and explore the island. I haven't done that enough. There's really good food. There's good vibes all around the island. You can even go surfing all around the island. The most popular surf spot being Cloud 9. If you guys are a pro, surf at Cloud 9. The waves are really, really big. And this, guys, was my top 5 list out in the Philippines. Now there's tons and tons of other reasons why I love the Philippines. I go back at least once a year and my goal is for 1 full month, and there's tons of other places to explore that I haven't seen yet. So welcome again to my channel if you guys are brand new to my channel. My name is Christopher Lau. I have tons of travel vlogs all over the Philippines. I have a playlist of the Philippines, so make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. Make sure you guys also hit the like button. Comment down below maybe on some of your favorite islands to visit out in the Philippines that I should check out on my next visit. And make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys are notified for the next videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, welcome to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys.